He was a puppet, basically, of Rome, and the whole Roman Empire ruled the whole region at that time. So he did a lot of things to endear himself to the Romans. Now, he was a builder. He loved to build. And all over Israel, you'll see places that Herod built. One of the main ones is a city called Caesarea, which is down the coast, which used to be just nothing. It was just a beach. And out of nothing, he built this entire massive city. So one of the biggest archaeological digs in Israel is Caesarea. He also built the Temple Mount. So they're together, a big, substantial structure. There was another big structure in Hebron, which is called the Caves of the Patriarchs. It looks just like a temple mount. Also built by
See, it's a double rainbow.
the Masada, very famous sort of refuge on the top of the mountain, also built by Herod. And this also. Okay, Herod was a bit of a paranoid guy. He was always worried about, what if bad guys come and try to get me? I need a place to hide out. So several of his places are forts built for himself to go at a place of refuge. And that's true of this one. Now, they believe he never actually came here, with the exception, as someone pointed out, they recently, about 2 years ago, found in the side of the hill here what they believed to be Herod's tomb. For centuries, nobody had an idea where he was buried, and they finally determined it's here. But anyway, this is a volcanic cone, a cinder cone, and down in the middle of it is where he built the fort. So you go down inside of the volcano, and there's a synagogue there, there's a baths, there's this and that, palaces. There's also an extensive underground water system for catching water and then containing it. That's all here to see. Now, later, after Herod, in about the year 135, there was a big Jewish insurrection against the Romans, and the Romans crushed it mercilessly, and so they all fled. And so one of the places the Jewish soldiers came to take refuge was here in Herodian. And so they used what was here, including the underground water shafts, for protection until the Romans came and drove them out, basically killed them all. And that same story ends, the last of the last of the last of that revolt is down in Masada. It's a very famous story. It's down on the Dead Sea. It's like a little mountain sticking up by itself with a plateau on the top. And up on the top of the plateau where Herod had built this fortress, the Jews took refuge. And it's because it's like this, it's very difficult to get up there. So there's only one little snake trail, and very, very easy to defend. So the Romans couldn't get at them, just throw rocks at them. So the Romans, what they did is took all the Jews they had captured from this insurrection and took them down there as slave labor, and little by 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 little, they built a siege ramp. Just literally built up a ramp that led right up to the top. And so the guys at the top could watch day after day as this ramp got closer and closer and closer, and they knew they had no defense against that. So it's a very compelling story. It's a big deal in the psyche of the Israelis. It's kind of this last heroic outpost. That the night before the Romans were going to break into the city, all the residents that were there decided we would rather commit suicide rather than be taken captive by the Romans. And so what they did is drew lots, and 3 guys were chosen to basically kill everybody else and then commit suicide themselves. So when the Romans the next day breached the wall, rushed in, they found everybody dead. They found heaps and heaps of food stored and water for months to come, sort of evidently put out as a message to the Romans. You guys didn't starve us out, and we weren't hurting. We could have stayed here for another while. We've chosen this heroic way out. So that Again, the psyche of the Israelis, a lot of the soldiers are inducted down there. It's kind of this mindset of us against the world, and never again. Again, also built by Herod. Now, just
Yeah, you can
see,
see the ammunition
there's a few
there.
pillars here that you can see. Look out the window here as we go. There's a pile of cannonballs there.
And they actually,